You're watching Taste of Victory.
Welcome back, everybody. I hope everyone's been enjoying X2. Let me know what you think of it in the comments below. Today we got one of the most popular decks in the set, anti-hero fan favorite Beelzemon. Beelzemon, if you play Yu-Gi-Oh, is really akin to Lightsworn. It's a lot of milling cards from the top of your deck to get bonus effects and make your other effects that are already there even stronger. So it's really fun, but unfortunately it is pretty high roll, where in a best of 3 format it's kind of risky. Let's see how we can build that towards some consistency and to take advantage of the high roll though. First up, we're going to start with our eggs. The main one is going to be DemiMeramon. This was the new one introduced in Booster Set 8. Your turn, once per turn, when a card is trashed from your deck, draw one. We are going to be doing a lot of that, as you'll see when we go through the profile, so we want effects to take advantage of that, and this is an easy to meet draw one, because we want to keep cycling and see our pieces. After that, for a 5th egg, we have Yaamon. We could have something that mills more cards from our deck, but we already have so many effects to take care of that I want to be able to get some DP bonus to be able to swing over opposing Digimon, because Yaamon is fantastic, where you have 10 or more cards in your trash, you get plus 2000 DP, and that is a pretty big bonus, especially paired with this Impmon that we are about to see. First Impmon is all the way back in Booster Set 1.0, I believe. This is 3 to play, 1000 DP, and then when deleted, discard 3 cards from the top of your deck. So this helps us mill quickly and is an in-archetype name since we want Impmon for targets for certain effects. After that, we have another Impmon. This one is from Booster Set 6. It is 3 to play, 2000 DP, and then on play, you may trash 1 card in your hand. If you do, return 1 Digimon card with 7 Great Demon Lords or 3 Musketeers in its type from your trash to your hand. So this is able to cycle with our Beelzemons, and the trash 1 card from your hand is only an advantage for us in purple, as we have some cards that may take advantage of it. Finally, we do have the new Impmon in Booster Set X2. This is a 4 of, as all the other ones are, because we want more Impmon names for our effects to target. It is 3 to play, 1000 DP. When this card is trashed from your deck, if it wasn't trashed by the same card as this Impmon, you may trash the top 3 cards of your deck. So that is really nice, because some of these already trashed 3, another 3 helps you fill up to 10 really fast, which is the minimum for a lot of effects based on trash count. Then you have on play, reveal the top 4 cards of your deck and add 1 Digimon card with Beelzemon in its name or 1 Ai Mako from among them to your hand. So it's a fantastic searcher that has the potential to grab 2 cards when it searches. Always want to run as many of those as you can for consistency. Its inheritable is your turn. When this Digimon has Beelzemon in its name, it gets plus 3000 DP. So if you have the stack with Yaamon, you're swinging over basically anything your opponent can really realistically bring out with your level 6 or your level 7s. It's really nice. You really shouldn't be prioritizing the DP boost, however, just think of it as a nice bonus to have in addition to its amazing main effect. Next up, we move up to our champion lineup. We do have the Eyesmon Scatter Mode and the Eyesmon. Eyesmon was unfortunately limited to 1, so we can only run 1 copy of it, but it's still nice to have there just in case, if we're running Eyesmon anyways. When you trash this card from your hand using one of your effects, if Eyesmon Scatter Mode is in your trash, you may play this card without paying its memory cost. This used to be ridiculous to get a bunch of bodies on board, pressure, lethal, and stuff like that, but also has your turn. For each Eyesmon Scatter Mode in your trash, this Digimon gets plus 2000 DP. So while it's not what it used to be, it still doesn't hurt to run the 1-off to get that high roll advantage. Then we have Eyesmon Scatter Mode himself. It is on deletion, draw 3, and then trash 2 cards in your hand. So we have cards that benefit from being trashed in hand, so that is good there. And then also, drawing 3 is still nothing to laugh at. It's still a fantastic card. Beelzemon basically switches between Rookie Rush and actually climbing up to your level 6 modes, so having that ability to be able to swing this and then maybe get a bunch of value off it is very nice. It still lets you draw, it still fills you up your trash really quickly, which is helpful for the effects based on trash count in this deck. So despite the ban list limit, it is still a fantastic addition to the deck. Then we have 2 Loweemons just to make sure we have hybrid for lethal if we need that 1 extra swing. And we have the new Booster Set 8 Soulmon. Your turn, once per turn, when a card is trashed from your deck, gain 1 memory, and since we are doing a ton of that, this lets us help extend plays for more actions per turn, which can make a big difference in some games. So our champion lineup is basically trying to get through our deck fast enough while drawing pieces and filling up the trash, and then taking advantage of that deck milling through Soulmon. We then move on to our ultimates. The main one we are going to be prioritizing is SkullSatamon. SkullSatamon is 3 to digivolve into, 7000 DP, and when digivolving, trash the top 2 cards of your deck, then return 1 card with Demon Lord in its trade from your trash to your hand. So as you can see here, we have plenty of ways to cycle our Beelzemon, so we don't ever really have to worry about running out of them, and we don't really need to max out any count of them because there's so much recursion. Its inheritable is your turn, once per turn, when a card is trashed from your deck, gain 1 memory, same effect as the Soulmon. So when you get the perfect stack of these 2 guys, you gain a lot of memory just for doing something as simple as digivolving and milling a card through Beelzemon's effects or any other effects that mill in your deck. So this helps you extend plays a lot if you get either in your sources. Going back, we have BlackWarGrowlmon. It is 3 to Digivolve into, 7000 DP, main Digiburst 3, and if you do, play one level 3 purple Digimon card from its trash without any of its on-play effects. And it has the inheritable, when attacking once per turn, you may delete one of your other Digimon to unsuspend this Digimon. So that is fantastic, because not only does it play its own rookie to set itself up for its unsuspend and get more swings, it also potentially helps you get another Impmon out to be able to warp Digivolve into the old Beelzemon that lets you do that. So it's really good to push for game and also set up extended turns. And finally, we have the SkullGreymon. SkullGreymon lets you put itself underneath one of your Digimon when it is trashed through your own effects from hand, and then its inheritable is Retaliation. It's when attacking is you may trash one card in your hands, have this Digimon get plus 7000 DP for the turn, so it's a pretty safe swing if you end up Digivolving into it and need to attack. Mainly we are running this to take advantage of the discard from hand effects that we have a few of, so between this and Eyesmon we have some stuff that benefits from being trashed and puts a bit of a bump in the road for your opponent when they start swinging, because if you put this underneath something that attacks, they can't exactly get over it unless they want to lose their Digimon, unless they have options. So it kind of messes up their turns a little bit. You could also, in this place, consider running one Retaliation Mon, which is a bit more direct of the same strategy, because it becomes a Retaliation blocker by discarding one card in your hand. So that is really annoying to decks that are really aggressive focused. Finally, we got the awesome Desperado everybody's been waiting to see in this whole deck profile, and that is Beelzemon himself. So we are running quite a few because he has many printing. First up is the one from all the way back in 1.0. This card used to be $50 to $40 back in 1.0, but it's really crazy to see how far the game has come since those days with more reprints and stuff, even if the price is kind of still crazy. It is 4 to Digivolve into, 11,000 DP, and then if you have 10 or more cards in your trash, your Impmon can Digivolve into this card in your hand by paying its Digivolution cost for 4, and then when Digivolve, delete one of your opponent's level 4 or lower Digimon. So the main use of this is that Warp Digivolution, so you could go into it with a very easy condition to meet of 10 cards of trash. All you run are Impmon to be able to facilitate this effect. You Warp Digivolve into it, and suddenly you are really quickly at a Beelzemon Blast mode. So that's really good for that. Deleting one of your opponent's level 4 or lower Digimon is also good too, in the fringe case where they might have a blocker. It gets rid of that that's preventing your lethal. And if not, it helps you clear board, which is always really good. So Beelzemon is a fantastic card for that quick Warp Digivolution. I don't think it's terribly crucial to the strategy, so 1 to 2 is perfectly fine if you can't get your hands on this. After that, we have the new one that is introduced in X2. This one is only 3 to Digivolve into, also 11,000 DP, and when this card is trashed from your deck, you may play one Impmon from your trash without paying its memory cost. So that's another effect that benefits from all the milling, of which we have a ton. When Digivolving, when attacking, you may trash the top 2 cards of your deck, then delete one of your opponent's level 3 or lower Digimon. For every 10 cards in your trash, add 1 to the maximum level of the Digimon you can choose with this effect. And because of how quickly we do fill up our trash, this is going to be hitting level 5s quite frequently, so that punishes your opponent from pulling out of raising too early. It's a really good tool to be able to be aggressive while also controlling and answering your opponent's board. And it's kind of where the comparison to Lightsworn comes back, where I was mentioning earlier if you're a Yu-Gi-Oh player, where you have all these effects that benefit and get stronger from your graveyard getting bigger. Then we have Blast Mode. This is our level 7. This was in the anime when Ai Mako give him that little toy gun to Warp Digivolve. He is 6 to Digivolve into, 15,000 DP, but we do have a way to cheat the Digivolution cost we'll see in a second. When this card is trashed from your deck, delete one of your opponent's level 4 or lower Digimon. When Digivolving, delete all of your opponent's Digimon with the highest level, and then your turn, for every 10 cards you trash, this Digimon gains security attack +1. So again, another easy condition to meet with how fast we fill up our trash, so this is easily checking for 3 to 4 security, and then being able to delete your opponent's Digimon is fantastic. Unfortunately, it is level based, so yes, that does mean these effects do not affect the D-Reaper decks, so that is a really bad matchup for purple, and you're going to have to find a way to tech for it. Speaking of cheating out Blast Mode, we have Ai Mako. It is a memory tamer, which is why it costs 4 to play, and then your turn, when you attack with the Digimon, you may suspend this tamer to trash the top card of your deck. Then, if the attacking Digimon is Beelzemon, you may Digivolve it into a Beelzemon Blast Mode in your trash for a Digivolution cost of 3. So this tamer is fantastic, not only because it gives us a pseudo blitz, because you can attack, tap this to then Digivolve into Blast Mode, and even if it passes memory over, you already Digivolve, so that's fantastic alone, but it also reduces the Digivolution cost, or rather, it makes it a completely different cost. Instead of 6, you can only play the 3. If you play this out from your security for free, that is huge value, so that's a fantastic tamer. Not only does it also helps you mill, if you need to reach a specific target for one of your other options or something like that, it does mill that one top card. However, you don't really care about stacking too many of the effects, because once you get out to your Beelzemon, that's all you really want. So 4 is good, but because you want to see it, but you could definitely cut down to 3 if you want to make room for something else in here. A fantastic tamer that lets you quickly get into a Blast Mode and for cheaper. And now to finish up this profile, we have our options. We have 4 Jack Rays to be able to extend turn because it gives you 1 memory for every 10 cards in your trash, which is really easy to meet. And you'll actually be getting the 2 memory for 20 pretty often in this deck compared to other purple decks. And then in security, it's a Hammer Spark, which could save you, so 4 of is nice. Then we have Missed Memory Boost, because not only is this a memory boost that lets you draw 1, it also trashes the top 2 cards of your deck to fuel that effect for Beelzemon. It could also maybe mill one of the Beelzemons that has an on-mill effect that can possibly save you by deleting one of your opponent's Digimon. And then later you could delay it for 2 memory, so that's always good for extending turns. Lots of synergy in this deck. Our last option is going to be Death Slinger. It is 4 to play. When this card is trashed from your deck, gain 1 memory, so that is also huge to be able to gain more turn extensions. And then delete one of your opponent's level 4 or lower Digimon. For every 10 cards in your trash, add 1 to the maximum level of the Digimon you can choose with this effect. So starting at level 4 makes this card scale really great. It is absolutely possible that if you hold this long enough, you can delete level 6s with this card with all the milling you do, so that is awesome. And there's certainly an argument to be able to up this card to make sure you have a higher chance to mill it to gain that 1 memory, but I like the consistency of just hard casting the Jack Ray to make sure you get the memory instead of hoping to mill it with Death Slinger. But that is a good example of how high roll this deck is and how dependent it is on milling good stuff, because maybe you just get a really bad game where you mill all the stuff you want to see in your hand instead of this. It has a really bad D-Reaper matchup, but it has a pretty okay enough matchup into everything else. This is one of those decks that kind of just relies on its own strategy even working in the first place. So the biggest opponent, like a lot of purple decks, is unfortunately going to be itself. That said, it's still an incredibly fun deck, and it's really great to pilot because you get so much dopamine boost when all the mills go right, and you get all the great effects going off. It's hilarious. Beelzemon is just so cool himself too. The alt arts in this set for this deck are absolutely gorgeous, so I can't wait to try this out. I hope to be able to pull all the stuff I need. Let me know if you guys are going to be playing this in X2 and what changes you make to the deck. I'll see you in the next video, and until then, remember to stay hungry until you get a taste of victory.